Boys and girls, you know I don't like Mondays, but I do like when the work day is over and it gets us closer to the weekend. And not only that, we are doing 20 of 20. And I know it's misleading. It's not exactly 20 interviews in 20 days technically. We're skipping the weekends and then we're going back to the weekdays. So whatever it is whatever it is, but I'm calling it 20 and 20. And look who we have here today. This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest. I believe he's maybe, possibly Versace sponsored. My man here, Patrick Saint, part of the mission. Welcome to the show, my man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for paying me to be here.
Well, I know you did say something on the face page, and I did send you a check. Uh, Hopefully you didn't cash that thing yet. Uh,
No, let's do all cash. I would rather it be all cash.
well, it's all checked, so I'm sorry at this.
2022, who writes checks anymore?
Uh, I'm old school. It is what it is. I don't, I don't do the PayPal and all of that shit.
We'll do cash. We'll talk about cash. Off
All right.
off camera.
I, I'll have to, I'll have to keep my distance at the next TOS show. I see my man Patrick saying it. But again, welcome, welcome to the show, my man. And I do appreciate your time because I know it's all about the mission, and I am assuming that I'm taking your time away from said mission.
Um, a little bit, a little
Okay.
bit. But
Okay.
I know you wanted to pay me for this interview. You wanted to be in my presence for an hour. You
Well, this appearance fee thing is kind of sticky situation, but we'll see where that goes.
know,
But anywho, boys and girls, we have a fine upcoming talent right in front of us right now and that's what I love, getting the young talent that are very young in their career because sometimes we get their first interview, first promo, first footage of their match and whatnot. So I guess the first question I'm just going to ask you right now, is this your first interview ever, Mr. Saint, sir?
yeah, this is my first interview ever.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
I love those. I definitely appreciate those. I'm a little bit more nervous now. Um, but boys and girls, for you that don't know Mr. Patrick Saint, he is one of four, I should say, one of four members of the mission, which compiles of, I can't even talk. You make me nervous. Dan the Man, Mr. Patrick Saint. We have EVD La Rosa, and we have Brother Greatness. Now, Brother Greatness has taken a turn for since the last time we've had him on SCP, boys and girls, Brother Greatness lately, he's a different man. Not today, Satan. It's pretty. But anywho, this is not about Brother Greatness. Could be a little bit. But anyways, you are 1/4 of the mission, and let's kind of talk about the mission because really that's the focal point. And Mr. Saint,
Mhm.
please talk to us about because we've heard it show after show after show. It's all about the mission. What is the mission? What is this book of Danos? Is there like rules and regulations in there? What's going on? Could you explain to us and open our eyes and our horizons to the mission, my man?
The mission could be the mission is one thing, but it's everything. Does that make sense?
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like for instance, if you went on a date and you spent $200 on the date and you bought a bunch of lobster and bullshit, that's not mission worthy. But if you took her to Wendy's and you bought a 4 for $4, now you're understanding that it's all about the mission. That's
I
what
did not. I did not expect that. um,
mission could be anything, but
okay.
it's one thing, but it's everything. It's all around you.
As long as there's accomplishment made, correct? Could that be correct?
We could say that. I
Okay.
can't really
Okay.
divulge into too much. The Book of Danos, is a great book. Probably don't know, but it's been passed down from generation to generation.
Oh, I was not aware of that. Thank you for sharing that information. Uh, and I know We're not privy to, flip through the pages of the Book of Danos, but you seem to have, because you are a part of the mission. What are we talking here? Are there messages in there? Is there like, paragraph 1, subtext A, statute C, and stuff like that? What is this Book of Danos? What's inside? Give us a sneak peek of what's in there.
I can't give you a sneak peek, but I can tell you, like, I'm not gonna give you like actual details unless you follow the teachings of Dan the Man. I would be going against the mission if I did that. If I divulge any information from that book without you being a member, then that's me. That's on me. So I can't do that. But
That's just a little bit.
a little bit, okay. I get a little bit, right?
Okay.
What do you want to know? Give me like an example.
Well, really, no example. I mean, because we don't know what the Book of Danos is made up of. Is there rules? Is there regulations? Is it like a cult? Because Joey, I like to call him Jackie G. Joey G says that it's a cult pretty continually, regularly at every show, and a couple other things that we could go ahead.
How are we a cult? CrossFit is a cult.
Oh,
we're not a cult.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, the words that are written in said Book of Danos, are there rules and regulations? Is it a club that you have to go, with I just don't know. I'm just taking wild guesses here because you have some insight. That's why I'm asking, but you're not really giving me any insight, which I really did.
I gave you a little bit of insight though, right, with the example that I shared with you.
Well, with Wendy's, okay, I'll have to take that example and run with it. Okay, a 4-5. You know what? We might even call it, because I like to name each episode separately, give them their own little flavor. I'm thinking 4 for 4 might be the title of this episode. That's actually a pretty good start right there.
I like
it. Could. Oh, okay, it could change by the end of the episode because you never know. But that's a great start. Now let's go. We could talk about the entire group of Danos, and we were trying to get a little bit out of that book, but I guess, and it's beautiful. It's gold and stuff. Are the pages gold? Could you describe?
The pages, the pages are just regular pages, but the writing in it is gold.
Oh, okay. That makes that's
gold writing. It's like are you a religious man? Are you a man of religion?
Wow, I've never been asked that before. I'm gonna have to just be honest and say,
Fair enough. So it's kind of like if I don't know if you ever touched the Bible before, but it's like
I have.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that.
Okay.
All
right. Hey, any information is vital information, and again, I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
And we're going to go into the other members of the mission and whatnot, because that's what really, we want the people that don't know about the mission to know about the mission. Correct, sir?
Yeah. The only way they're gonna know if they come and they bow down to Dan the Man.
Well, all right. Let's all calm down for a second here. But let's kind of focus around Mr. Patrick Saint, because on this show, we go to the independent wrestling shows as a fan, and we see these larger than life characters that come through the curtain, down the ramps, through the doors, if you will, however their individual setups are. And I have to say, from the get-go, and I don't specifically remember which show it was, but I know it was a road show. That I'm almost positive in my feeble mind that you made your first presence. You were pretty golden, if you will. The shirt and the shoes and stuff like that. Do you remember exactly which show you kind of made your first presence and impact on, sir?
Let's do the research right now.
Okay, that's fine. And I have to say, and we're just going to point this out, boys and girls. Always very well dressed. Versace, if you will. That's correct, sir.
Versace. People say it's fake. It's not fake. This is exclusive Versace.
Oh,
exclusive.
Do you have like a Versace line after Patrick Saint? So it's like a Patrick Saint line from Versace. Is that what we got going on here?
Not yet, but soon. It's coming.
O-
Coming very
Okay,
soon.
okay, I can accept that.
Fight for your dreams 4.
Oh, uh, well, it would be fight for your dreams. Yeah, fight for your dreams. But my point being, and I'm glad you researched that. Thank you, because again, I just fly by the seat of my ass. I don't remember stuff like that. Um, Making an impact, uh, being part of the mission, coming out for that first time as I just have to say, totally honestly, a brand new talent. Uh, as you've been making your presence, a diamond in the rough, if you will. Um, Coming through that curtain for the first time on one of Test of Strength's major shows, because that's like, to be honest with you, that's like their WrestleMania. If I'm not mistaken, Fight for Your Dreams.
It is.
Uh, Coming out for their WrestleMania for the first time in your career to make an impact as you did, could you talk to us about the fans about that? Because we don't know about going through the curtain. You know, the excitement, the exhilaration, maybe the nerves, maybe whatever's going on behind the curtain before coming out and making that impact. Just talk to us a little bit, if you could, because we try to pull the curtain just a smidge, if you allow us.
Yeah. Before I made way through the curtains, I was like maybe like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very high. I was probably like a 2 nervous, you know. Um, and then it happened. I came out there, me, Dan, Jay Bougie, we made magic happen. It
Uh,
was cool. It was cool. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I still am to this day.
okay.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Very grateful for Dan for allowing me that position, for Test of Strength for, you know, giving me my working papers and letting me work with the promotion. You let me be featured as their talent. So I'm always grateful.
We speak on the show a lot about Test of Strength and some of our local training facilities, schools around here.
Mhm.
Paradise Alley Pro down in East Haven, Test of Strength being in East Hartford.
Mhm.
Um, those are the really major two. And down in Danbury, if I'm not mistaken, you have the old Bubba, the 3D Academy, correct?
I believe so.
So those are the three that kind of stick out in Connecticut specifically for me.
Mhm.
Um, but we do talk about Test of Strength an awful lot here on Stirring the Pot. Excuse me. Talk to us why Test of Strength. How come maybe a couple of the other ones I mentioned, or some of the ones that surround the Connecticut area, because there are a lot of training schools around here.
Well, here's a fun fact. Um, when I was looking for somewhere to start my career, I went to PAPW first.
Oh,
I went there for one night. It was cool. Uh, the drive where I live now, the drive was it didn't make sense.
okay.
So I was like, let me see if there's something around me. Did some research, and then a friend of mine, Daniel, he told me about a school in East Hartford. So I did some research. I went on Instagram, found a page, and I was like, oh, this is real. I was like, all right, cool. Um, and then I emailed the head of Test of Strength, and he allowed me to come in, and the rest was history.
Mm. Building what you have. Is this something from scratch? Is this something you've already had established? Is this even well, what we have to say, because it's wrestling, a character or a gimmick? Or is this Mr. Patrick Saint? Maybe not even your government name, if you will, but Mr. Patrick Saint kind of himself, but really amped up to like a gazillion, if you will, for wrestling. Where we at with this character, Patrick Saint, and the name? If you could divulge the name, where does that come from? Does it represent anything?
So my father's middle name is Saint Patrick.
Oh,
My name was supposed to be Saint Patrick, but my mother, she didn't want to name me Saint Patrick. She just wanted to name me Patrick. She took the
okay.
Saint off. So I took Patrick, and then I took the Saint when I was trying to figure out what last name to use. instead of using my government name. And then I use Saint, Patrick Saint. That's where it comes from.
Nice. Again, I appreciate with you sharing. I didn't think we were going to be getting stuff like that. Ooh, and the look, my man, very polished, but not specific ring gear, if you will. I mean, it's something you don't normally see in wrestling nowadays. I have to say, is it something, again, was it something you were kind of building, or did it just kind of come together real quick? Like, because you look fantastic, my friend.
It came together. I could be myself. So it just came together, Dan told me what he needed from me when we talked. We sat me down for a meeting. I was like, cool. And then, debuted. He was like, yeah, perfect. And it's me.
We talk about character building or evolving and different areas of your career, different time frames in your career. But we also say on this show that the natural characters really make the best characters that usually keep some longevity, for a wrestler's career.
I agree.
Because when you build these characters from scratch, and I hate to be repetitive on this show, but for people that haven't seen any of my stuff or our stuff, because this isn't my stuff, this is the fans, this is the fan show. It's the characters that we love, that we grasp onto. And when you come through the curtain, you tell us, and we talk about that a lot, because without these signals of, do we cheer for you? Do we boo for you? What are we talking here as a fan to wrestler, performer, artist, athlete? So when you come through and give us those immediate signals, we latch onto that stuff. And you've done that from the very beginning. And I think that's why Patrick Saint has made an impact, specifically in Test of Strength, but it's kind of been spreading his wing just a smidge, if I'm not mistaken. We can definitely get into that, but I feel that's why you've made an impact, because of your presence,
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Coming out through that curtain, from the time you started to making your debut, coming out to really introduce. Now, you know what, boys and girls, he didn't even introduce us, either did Test of Strength, because I asked him multiple times, and I got, I think, a bark, a mumble, a grumble, and I think a couple swears. Other than that, I didn't get any information. He would not tell me his name. The first introduction that we got of one Patrick Saint. And the Test of Strength, the brass, they didn't tell us either. What was up with all of that?
I was in the initiation stage of the mission. So the first really, I could divulge this information. This is something that I could talk about.
Okay.
The first couple of months, you can't speak at all. You can't speak, and you only eat fish. You can't speak, you only eat fish. You eat fish in the morning, you eat fish in the afternoon, you eat fish at night. You can't.
Can you cook it? Can you cook it?
You can cook it. You can eat whatever fish you want to eat.
Okay.
You can cook it. You can grill it. However you want to do it. But you can't speak. Can't speak. You go into a cleanse. So whatever your old self was, your old self gets destroyed. Your new self is created. And in order for that process to fully become one, can't speak.
Wow. That would be a little difficult for me, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. The moment you speak, you get excommunicated. So you probably would have been excommunicated in the first week.
Oh yeah. Oh wow! You gave me a week. Holy shit! Thank you.
Maybe 4 days. 4 days.
Woo. Yeah. I'm trying to get this vision of me trying to not speak and be part of whatever you guys got going on in the mission. I don't think I'd last very long at all, my friend. Very difficult to communicate with said members, and said, can we call Dan the man basically kind of like a sensei, if you will? Because there's a lot of stuff going on there, right? A sensei?
He's like a big brother, yeah.
Okay. not being able to communicate like that. I mean, it's not something you've ever done before in your life, but not being able to communicate. How long are you talking now?
It could be. It depends on how you're going throughout the other processes that I can't speak about.
Oh,
So it could last up to a year. You know, me, I was passing with flying colors, so it was about 3, 4 months.
3 or 4 months, no communication. How does the sensei teach? The student. How does this work?
So he
If you can't.
talks. He talks to you. He gives you missions. You get a weekly mission. It's like, you ever play Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, there's one main story, right? And there's bunch of side missions. So that's how it works. There's a bunch of side missions that you have to complete, but there's one
Okay.
main mission. But the
All
one
right.
main mission, we haven't completed it yet. But you just complete a bunch of side missions as you will that
Hmm,
ultimately lead up to the big mission.
got you.
Hmm.
Um, let's go rewind a little bit and go back from when you first came out the curtain to where we're at now, because there's been a lot of happenings, if you will, my
Mm.
friend,
Like
up to
what?
this point.
What do you want to talk
Um,
about?
from Test of Strength, could you tell us some of the other places you've kind of had your presence known at, if you will?
Yeah, I've been to Shut Up and Wrestle. I thank them for the opportunity. I wrestled your boy, Mark Alexander.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we saw how
he did
what
a great
happened there.
job. He did a great job.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Shut Up and Wrestle up there in Holyoke, Massachusetts, under
Yeah,
the Kevin Landry's label over there.
I've
Kevin
been
Landry's
to.
Combine.
Yep, I've been to NWWE.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Beautiful.
Now we're talking New World Wrestling Extreme.
Oh yes,
Yes.
oh yes.
Now, what was your presence over there? Be representing the mission, or was Dan the Man there, or do you guys split up and do your thing?
Dan the Man was there, and he had a mission, a soul mission that he needed to complete. He needed a
Okay.
little extra spice on the meat. He called
Oh.
me up, asked me if I was free, told me what it was. I said, "Let's get it done." We got it done.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, is not Dan the Man a current champion at NWWE right
Oh,
now?
he is the open weight
Yeah.
champ.
Yes.
Open weight.
So it seems like you added a little bit of spice over there. Is it a rub that's handmade, or is it just like some adobo, or what do we got going on there?
It was a figure of speech, my friend.
Oh, okay. You never know. I was just checking, just checking. Okay, so and WWE. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Um, and I'll be at a couple other places soon.
Okay. Well,
Been at a couple other places soon. I was there for Big Jim's memorial as well. I was there
ooh,
for that.
2TW. That was
Yeah.
the debut, actually, of 2TW.
Hmm. I was there for that.
Oh, wait. No. I'm mixing up shows. That was Don't Spill the Whiskey you're
Yes.
talking about, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. Sir, if we could just pause and speak on that. I have a couple times on this show already.
Hmm.
It was 8 promotions coming together. Boys and girls, if you've never heard about this, Don't Spill the Whiskey. It was for our fallen brother, Big Jim Anderson. We love him to pieces.
Hmm.
And 8 promotions came together. And I'm not behind the curtain, and I don't pretend that I know what's going on back there. But what I have heard, and some of the talent that I have had on STP have said the same thing, is it was just not any regular wrestling show or event. It was something special, and people just came together to do their thing. There wasn't none of that bullshit behind there, whatever happens behind the curtain or what have you. No politics, no drama, none of that. It was there to celebrate Big Jim. Everybody came together, and it was absolutely fantastic. And dude, that thing was just so much filled with love, and there were tears, and there were stories, there were laughs, there was a lot of wrestling. Could you talk to us about being on such an amazing show like that? Because
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man, that was something really cool.
Yeah. It was cool. It was really cool. It was a very beautiful moment. I enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun. I haven't seen any backstage politics or anything like that, but back there, everything was all love. I met a lot of people. Meet so many people, you forget names, and then you see them again at other shows, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember you.
Mhm.
Stuff. I didn't get to meet Big Jim personally, but I've heard nothing but great things about him. So I was happy to be a part of that. That was cool.
Uh, lots of love that spread from one Big Jim. I tell you, man, he touched way more people than I ever expected. When the things started kind of flooding in, I was like, as a fan, I was like overwhelmed seeing that come in and all of the stuff he was tagged in. I'm like, wow, this
Yeah.
is absolutely insane, dude.
Mhm.
But again, just a lot of love was shown, and that show just really proves that boys and girls have a lot of love for wrestling and Big Jim in the same token. Um, now, Test of Strength, they do these training days that I love to speak upon because of the intimacy at the dojo over there. It's a room with a ring, about 20 or 30 seats. And then you guys have these road shows where it's a little bit bigger of a venue. You could seat a couple hundred, sometimes a few hundred. Um, the training days specifically, let's kind of speak on that because I know they're much different than sitting in front of a couple hundred people. Being there in an intimate setting, it's a little less amped up with the fans. We try to be loud and proud, but it's not as many people. But we try to add up for it. um, but talk to us because there's a lot of things that could happen because you're always running live TV right now every single time. But being that close to us has got to be just a tad more. I feel, or my opinion as a fan, maybe a tad more harder. Could I go on a limb and say that?
Harder in terms of what?
Just your performance because you're so close to us. I don't know. It could be ring position. It could be anything that's really going on in that because anything can happen in that ring at any time. You know that as well as anybody.
hmm Um, uh, I don't know if I would say that it's harder. Um, it's more intimate. I like that. I feel like the pressure. Well, I guess you could say it's a little harder. Like it's more pressure. There's more pressure. I like pressure. You
Mhm.
know, never fold under pressure. That's one of the laws of the mission. Never fold under pressure. You
Oh,
know.
okay.
So, yep, you can write that down. I can give that one away for free too.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I like that. Um, because now like it's all eyes on you right
It
then and there.
really is.
Once you step into the ring, it's your time to step into the ring. You get the opportunity. It's all eyes on you. So
Mhm.
depending on what you're doing, whether you're in a one-on-one, 2-on-2, 3-man, 8-man, once you get into the ring, it's your time, and I like that. I feel like it's more pressure that way, um, as opposed to when we have our road shows. When we have our road shows, yeah, it's still a lot of pressure, but it's dispersed.
It's a different animal going from
Yeah,
one to another. Correct.
yeah, absolutely.
Now the fans at Test of Strength, they come out and they come out and do their thing. Ever since I want to say last year, and I always forget the exact show. I almost want to say it's the Dear Norma, but I
hmm
could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure. Out came the Stepdad Squad, which has kind of been Stepdad Squad slash Frost Force. And these guys come out like 6 or 8 at a time here, and they bring their signs, they bring their voices, they bring their creativity and their artistry with their signs, they bring their energy, and there is not one match that you do not hear these guys about specifically, very specifically when Dan the Man and or collectively the Mission come out, man, do those guys get loud and a little amped up. Seeing the fans like that, and we've been talking pretty steadily these last few interviews here over the past recent days, the connection between wrestler and fan. You have got to feel right now you are in this amazing connection in wrestling between wrestler and fan or performer or athlete with us the fans right now, because holy cow, we boo the piss out of you guys when you come out and we do our thing through the match. Talk to us about that right now, because that is really happening so young in your career right now.
Yeah, it's annoying. Why are
Oh,
you doing that? We've done
well,
nothing
good.
wrong.
Well, good. We're doing our job then.
We've done nothing wrong. That's the thing. We haven't done anything wrong. They come with their signs. They try to heckle us. I rip their signs because I'm offended.
Oh,
I'm offended. I'm a nice guy, So when when I come out there and there's a bunch of people that I don't know that are booing me, and I'm like, wow, this really hurts my heart, and I have to like rip your sign at that time, And they're booing my mentor, Dan. They're saying these terrible things about him, and
like
I'm
he's a
like,
jackass. They say he's a jackass.
yeah, hurts my feelings, that they say those things.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could put hands and feet on them, but then
No,
can't do that.
can't do that. No,
I
we
would
don't
like
do
to
that.
choke. I would like to choke each and every one of them out.
Oh, wow. Speaking of which, before I forget, what is this thing you've got going on? This submission, or what do we got going on there, my man?
It's an elevated choke. It's a jujitsu move.
Okay.
You're going to sleep. You're going to sleep.
You're a big dude, so the smaller athletes that you go against or kind of manhandle, if you will, that's kind of easy because you just pick them up and kind of dangle them and stuff like that, So I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Is there a specific name to this thing though? You've got to maybe have something that you've named it. No.
I call it 500 degrees because once you're in the heat, you're burning up.
Oh.
We could call it the Hilsachi lock. We could call it the Hilsachi lock too.
Okay. The Hilsachi lock?
The Hilsachi lock.
Huh.
But I go with 500 degrees.
Okay.
500 degrees. Once I put that on, boy, your ass gonna start cooking.
And again, boys and girls, I've seen it firsthand. It is not pretty. He's even done it to the likes of Bobby Ocean. Like,
Bobby to sleep. Remember that,
dude? Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, it's not that funny. And I was like right there too. Wow. The mission again is made up of 4 members: Brother Greatness, Evie De La Rosa, Patrick Saint, and Dan the Man. Now there is this book of Danos that we've been speaking about. Dan the Man has obviously written said book of Danos. So I'm just going to have to say and go on a limb that Dan the Man is the leader of whatever the mission. Is that correct? Dan the Man is a leader of the mission.
We don't like labels.
Oh.
But you can say that that he calls the shots.
Okay.
But we don't like labels.
All right. Evie De La Rosa. Let's kind of talk about her if we could.
Yeah.
She's been around for a little bit. She has some years under her belt. She spread her wings to many places. A fine talent is one Evie De La Rosa. She used to come out and the kids would cheer. My stepdaughter just absolutely adored, and I'm sure she still does, but she hasn't been around wrestling since Evie has kind of changed her ways, if you will, and that's what I'm speaking upon. She would come out and the children would cheer, and she was very happy. She was always with a smile, and it was just all sorts of good love and good vibes and everything. Not anymore. She's very angry, does not smile as much. The only time she smiles is when her opponent is in pain. and the mission has really changed our Evie De La Rosa. Could
didn't
you
change
speak
her.
to her? Yeah, no. I think
You
you kind of
guys
did.
changed her.
What?
You guys changed her. Let's talk about that for a second. You
Please
know,
do.
before there was Bam Bam, there was Evie, right?
Mhm.
Then Evie took a little hiatus. Y'all forgot about her. How do you think that made her feel?
Hey, nobody forgot. She was
You
just kind
guys
of.
turned on her. She
No, she was
wasn't.
taking. Oh, wow, that hurts me.
Y'all turned y'all back on her. You
Oh,
know, that's where we came in.
but we love our Evie De La Rosa. We did. I mean,
Y'all don't have no love for her. If y'all love
well,
her, y'all would have had signs for her when she was gone. Everybody just forgot about her.
well,
That's not cool. That's not cool. We don't appreciate that, man. You know, we have feelings too. We have feelings too.
I think back, sir, and personally, I can't. I don't remember myself really saying, "Evie De La Rosa, how are you? Is everything okay?" No, I
Because you suck. That's why.
I'm a bum. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me. You should be apologizing to her.
Well, next time I see Evie De La Rosa live and in person, I'll have to bring this topic up of this interview.
Yeah, bring her some money too. She wants some money too. Money
And,
talk.
well, okay, let's not get all crazy. But and I will ask her to relay if I've done this or not. I want you to know that I've done this. So the next time I see Evie De La Rosa, I will apologize for not writing to her while she was on her hiatus. Personally, um, find talent again. Uh,
Amazing talent.
yes, not to be trifled with in the ring.
And my tag
Um,
team partner on May 7th for the tag team, the TOS tag team, the TOS tag team. Let's say it one more time. The TOS tag team championships.
uh, please divulge on this match, the event, the location, the date, the time. Give us some info right here.
Yes, it's gonna be Northampton, Massachusetts. I want to say 6 p.m. start time. Me and Evie against the Miracle Whip. Easy work. I'm at Miracle Generation. Miracle Generation. You have one
Okay.
of the shirts on Kylon King.
you know, I'm I'm sorry. I wore this specifically. I thought you would like it because it's very well made. You know.
Listen, I don't hate Kylon. I don't hate Flash. They just have
Okay.
my belts. They pretty much like stole our belts in a way. I don't hate them. I just want it. You know what will be a best case scenario for them? Like if we come out and they ring the bell, and whoever's legal at the time is like, "Hey, watch this," and it just lays down and it lets me or Evie get on top of them, and it's 1, 2, 3, and everybody wins because then we don't get to embarrass them. They don't have to feel shame, and then we don't have to get violent because it seems like every time we get violent, you know, people get uncomfortable, and we're watching, we're listening. We don't want anybody to get uncomfortable.
I have Evie break out a belt and whip people. I have seen that
Mm-hmm.
firsthand. I have seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not that funny. And you called the Miracle Whip. I haven't heard that, but and I do apologize to both Dustin and Kylon because I do love me some Miracle Generation. I've never heard that, but man, that tickled me. That tickled me just a little bit. That was actually
Miracle
kind of
Whip.
good. That was actually kind of good. I don't tell them guys. Oh my god,
They're gonna watch
that is.
this. They're gonna be like, "Oh wow, you're laughing at us, Kincaid."
No, no, no. I mean, but come on, that is clever. I mean, it is funny. I mean, not that I would ever say that. I mean, for real, I would never. That's why. I mean, I'm representing some Kylon and Dustin. I'm not trying to make light, but it's kind of funny. But Evie, Do not mess with Ms. Evie De La Rosa. Let's go on to Brother Greatness because Brother Greatness.
Let's change the subject. Let's not talk about him.
Why not?
Let's just not talk about him.
Oh wow. I almost wore a Brother Greatness shirt. I'm glad I didn't do that, I guess.
Yeah, he's like the ugly girl that wants to be seen in the club all the time.
Oh,
You know?
oh.
Let's change the subject.
Can
Just
I
doing
just
the most, you know what I mean? Just doing the most. Let's change the subject. Let's not talk about him.
could you give me one Brother Greatness question and that's it? I'll just one.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I better make this good, I guess. Well, there is only one question. This dude screams like he's got some kind of Tourette's or something going on over there. And there's been a couple subjects. One was Mike Skyros for months and months and months. You could say Mike Skyros for the K1 championship, and the dude would lose his ever loving mind. And right now, I want to say he loses his mind over something. I can't keep track because there's been a couple topics that you could just bark at him and he just absolutely loses ever love of man. What is going on? My one question, what is going on with Brother Greatness? Can you guys pull this guy back a little bit, calm him down, pop him a couple pills pre-event, if you will, on the side?
I don't know what's going on with that man, you know? He's a strange guy. He does weird things. He's a weirdo.
That's it? That's all you're giving me?
Brother Greatness is Brother Greatness. You know, like I told you, the perfect example. He's the ugly girl in the club. You try to go holler at the pretty girl, there goes the ugly girl right there. She got a man. Everybody was talking to you, sis.
Man, I almost want to call this episode The Ugly Girl in the Club, but he would absolutely kill me. He would absolutely freaking kill me. Ooh, let's not go there because, dude, you said it's like pulling a pin and a grenade. Once you pull the pin out of Brother Greatness, you cannot let go of that button because, ooh, man, yeah, let's not do that. That would be funny as AF, as the kids say. That would be funny AF.
Yeah.
He would lose his absolute mind, though, even more. Let's go on to Dan the Man because I gotta say, this guy is a veteran of the game right now in our area. I know he's traveled, in different areas or whatever, but I only know him in this area specifically. And if he walks through a curtain, he pisses off every single person right from when he walks through those curtains down the ramp again, whatever the setup is. He has a way as a performer to come through that curtain. People that don't even never seen him ever walk through that curtain before and pull him right into what he's doing. I've seen it a few times in a few places that I've actually seen him debut. And how could I ever see Dan the Man debut anywhere because he's been around for a minute? But he is that kind of performer, athlete, wrestler that just pulls you in from the very first second he comes to that curtain. Talk to us about the presence of Dan the Man, and is that what really draws the mission together? Is the presence of one Dan the Man?
You could say that. When I first started training at Test Your Strength, it was a Sunday, and I was staying after for a little bit, and he came in, and it was probably like either my first 3 weeks, or like my first month. He was a champ at the time, and he would show me some things, and he was like, it's all about the mission. And I was like, what does that mean? And then the rest was history. And like just watching certain things, like even the match he had with Bam Bam, like how he gets reactions, he knows what to do. I always like picking his brain whenever I'm around him, on certain things like that. I appreciate all this feedback. He knows how to like draw out that raw emotion when we first started going on the road, I remember he was talking to somebody. He was like, "Yeah, and I hope they have security on Saturday because the fans there try to attack me." And like that kind of excited me because like I would really love for somebody to even attempt that and put their head through the dirt, you know. So like with Dan, you never know. Like
No,
it's different. It's a different ride each time, and that's what I love.
he does seem to have a mind for the business, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Um, I've talked about Dan the Man in different interviews, and I've actually had, Mr. Man on here himself. But instead of talking to him, I talked to a Funko Pop that was a facsimile of Dan the Man for 2 hours and 32 minutes.
That's Dan the Man for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It was as soon as we connected and I saw that thing and I go, what the hell is going on? He goes, if you don't hit record, we don't go any further. So do something, Kincaid. And that's where we so I hit record and I talked to a plastic doll with Dan the Man uh, responding for 2.5 hours. It was quite interesting, I have to say.
I have to watch that.
But please do if you wish, because it is an interesting listen. And I know, boys and girls, I have done some extended ones. I have actually an extended one coming out, and I haven't even said anything about this yet. Almost 3 hours. It's going to be my longest STP ever. It's 2 hours 50 minutes with the return of the infamous Ryan Frost.
Mm.
So I'm going to be releasing that soon. But he has a mind for the business, as they say, and what I mean by that, boys and girls, he'll take current stuff of what's going on. I could say the movie Cruella came out. It was an updated version. If you don't know about it, it was an updated version, its own depiction of a Dalmatian movie, though 101 Dalmatians, but about Cruella, how she became Cruella, if you will. I thought it was actually pretty cute, man. I watched the whole thing. I've actually seen it twice. But Dan the Man, he latches on to that stuff. Current events he takes in and he soaks in. He's wearing the pants. He's wearing the Dalmatian pants. He's wearing the red shoes. He's got his hair different colors, white and red, if I'm not mistaken, or white and black, whatever the hell it was. I kind of have a visual of him, but not, again, I got a small mind. But he takes those current events, he incorporates them with him when he comes through those curtains and takes us on those rides every single time. It's not the same entrance. It's always something just a little bit different with Dan the Man. He's always thinking, though. He's always kind of utilizing whatever's going on and incorporating it in wrestling. And I have to say, there's a few out there that do it professionally on TV, but it's very rarely, if you will. Dan the Man, he gives you a good new flavor all the time. And I know I'm rambling on, but I'm lifting up some Dan the Man right now because I've always kind of latched onto his character, his professionalism, if you will. And I compare him, and this is going to go straight to his head. Oh my God. I compare him to our area's Ric Flair because once he leaves the ring, if he's in the back at the event, he's Dan the Man. He's not, there's no switch being turned off. He's Dan the Man. If he's going to the store or having somebody go into the store, but even if he's in his car at the store waiting for somebody to get him something in the store, he's Dan the Man. He does not change. He keeps that whole thing alive. And he's one of those very few rare guys in our area that do that. Darius Carter is another that I compare him with. These guys really just do it differently than everybody else does. You do understand what I'm saying there, my friend? Yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I see it all the time. Dan is great.
Well, that's kind of where I'm sitting here with one Patrick Saint, boys and girls. Because what we usually like to do is kind of uh, pull the curtain back, maybe get a little deeper in the real lives, or if you will. But this from the when I before I hit record, my point being is before I hit record, is Mr. Saint is here sitting just like this. There is no difference from before hitting record to hitting record. And I don't assume anything changing after I hit the stop record button. Um, why I'm saying all of this is having Dan the Man under him, him having you under his wing right now, to put it in, in a phrase. I just feel you're in great hands. You're gonna shine like a star. Not that you aren't already. Let's don't take any offense. But you're gonna shine very bright. And I think he's a fantastic mentor for that in-ring work. His promo work is just always on point. He really knows, and when we break apart wrestling, he really knows the psychology, and that's why that's why he pisses us off so much, because he knows how to push our buttons.
Yeah.
Being under the tutelage right now, from where you started to the present time, talk to us just a little bit of the fans, because again, we don't know. We're not behind the scenes. We're not training as an athlete under Dan the Man. Talk to us not about Dan the Man the person, but just like him as a mentor, as a trainer, if you will, to a degree, because I know there's Slick Wagner Brown and Bobby Ocean over there at TOS. But Dan the Man right now is almost kind of like the third trainer to Patrick Saint. Could I say that?
Yeah, you could say that.
Talk to us about that, because I mean, it's got to feel pretty special to have somebody that's a veteran and that really has a stature in the business in our area and in the independent scene. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to, like, because I'm all about, like, constructive criticism. Nothing is ever perfect besides myself. But some things can't be perfect all the time. And I appreciate the constructive criticism. There's always that. Like, watching how he does things without saying too much. How he,
That's a good point.
yeah, how he puts recipes together and things like that. Um, picking his brain on just little things. It's like every time, like, I'm around him, there's always something new. Like they say you learn something new every day. So I'm learning something new all the time whenever I'm, like, around him. I appreciate, not to cut you off.
No.
And yeah, I appreciate, like, where I'm at right now, with him, and, like, having him in my corner and vice versa.
I could feel, again, you're rising within those TOS ranks. The stature has changed from when you first started to where you're at now. And I know people kind of get lost at the beginning. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to call themselves. They don't know what gear they should wear, stuff like that. But I know I'm kind of maybe repeating myself in different phrasing or wording, but the beginnings and not being lost and really just finding something that you can grasp on and have fun with, look good, and working safe with your brothers and sisters and against your opponents in that ring. Just the way you speak, the storylines are very important. The way this is all culminating as you're coming up right at the beginning, Mr. Saint. I guess I can't say it enough. You're on such an amazing path. I can't see nothing but greatness because sorry, I did not mean that. Well, kind of. But because there's no downhill from there. There's just like you can only go. You could just keep going up and up, and always upping the antes and always learning. You can never not learn something in wrestling. That's what they say. It's like guitar. I always do the music and wrestling thing. You can't learn all of those notes on the guitar, maybe all of the notes, but there's so many different variations and whatnot.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with wrestling. It's always this learning experience. So I just feel you're in amazing hands between Test of Strength, the Dan the Man thing, and the whole mission. You guys as a faction, do you call yourself now wrestling? I don't know what you call when there's multiple people. Is it a camp? Is it a faction? What do we call the mission?
We're a collective.
Oh, a collective. I remember that. I got you. We are a collective.
Yeah.
4 for 4. No, I still like 4 for 4. that is pretty. uh, oh God. So no, I've seen the students
Mhm.
that test the strength, and I have had on this show. We've
Mhm.
seen live many a time at the events, honing their craft,
Mhm.
also broadening their horizons and whatnot.
Mhm.
The likes of the Elijah Sixes and
Mhm.
the Mark Alexanders we've spoke of, and
Yep.
the firm collectively: Elijah Six, Richard E. Stone Esquire, Jay Bricks, Sammy Diaz,
Mhm.
and others that are within there. We have the Dickie Moons that have been there for a minute. We have, I know Ty Shine isn't around like he used to be, but I'd be remiss if I don't say Ty Shine and the TJ Howes and the Ryan Frost. And I mean, I could go on and on. But my man, those names that I say, and we're seeing them making an impact, making a presence in other companies.
Mhm.
Uh, that's a strength. It has to be just a lot of fun, but a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice to get to these points of being so good right now at your craft that you are at such a young tenure.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what's the question? How I feel about
There
art?
was there was really no question. I'm just kind of speaking on because there's so many bad directions that a
Mhm.
young talent can go in when
Mhm.
they want to become a wrestler. And I feel between Test of Strength and the storyline and the guys and girls that are there, and everything, the young talent that are coming up and being molded in Test of Strength, I just feel are in such good hands under
Oh
the
yeah,
slick bag.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I know it's like it might sound like a cliche to say, um, because like that's like my home team, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, training under Slick, learn something new every week, um, every week, and like I come from like a martial arts background, and with jujitsu, they say like you could be like a purple belt, for instance, but they say you're always a white belt for life. So that's like the mindset that I went into with Test Your Strength, and that like rookie forever, rookie forever mindset, like, and just keep learning, learn something new every day. Um, Stay humble. I mean, me personally, I feel like you don't have to be humble all the time with certain things, but stay humble. Learn something new. Always take notes. Always take notes in class, even if it's on something simple. If it was uh, like a easy class per se, like something like I'm gonna take notes on it just to like have it. Even if I don't do it that right then and there, I'll do it when I get home, just to like study it and have that in the back of my head, um, and just become like a student of the craft. You know, and
Uh,
like the people that I train with, like, are amazing. Um, the Grapple God, Jordan Rowe.
I forgot. Oh my goodness.
How could you forget? You named everybody but the Grapple God.
I know the Grapple God, Jordan Rowe. We have Ichiban, who is absolutely on fire right now. I mean,
I
oh
don't
my
really see
goodness.
Ichiban around, and all he says is one. So I don't really want to talk to him because I feel like he would just piss me off. But the Grapple God is money, you know. Um, when my first day, I was there with Hippie Dicky Moon and Richard E. Stone. Um, I appreciate them a lot. You know, um, I've learned a lot from like Sammy and Eli, Jay Briggs. Jay Briggs is money. I can't wait to beat his ass one day in the ring.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That would be something a promoter could really step up on. Jay Bricks against Patrick Saint.
Yeah,
Mm.
Madison Square Garden. Uh, Ryan Frost, like I learned a lot from him, and he has a lot of wisdom and just like in life. Just learned a lot from him. Um, and then like the guys that I came up with, like Nizaya, Mark, Red, and then we have some other guys too that haven't debuted yet,
Mm.
but I can't wait. You know, I can't wait for them to debut. But like, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, seeing the class of where you're at coming up, yourself, Mark Alexander. There's a few others, and now there's a class coming up. Man, that's got to be really exciting for everybody in Test of Strength to keep that beautiful cycle of the Kowalski,
Yeah,
of Kowalski over there, under the Slick Wagner Brown and Bobby Ocean and the GM and such. Seeing that new class though, you've got to be excited to see their debut and see how they start doing their thing.
yeah, for sure. It's exciting, you know, and it's exciting to see like the growth as well.
Mhm.
You know, the growth is like I love it. You know, I'm happy to call it home.
I'll have to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I've done some filming
Hmm.
privately at Test of Strength, and it's still on my YouTube locked up.
Hmm.
And there's some stuff from a few years back, and we're talking like pre kin COVID. Kin COVID, you see what never mind. Uh some pre kin COVID, and I wanted to share with Eli and a couple of the guys about a years time after the fact, and they were like, I don't want to see that shit. Not all, not all, not all athletes want to see some of their beginnings. They may, I'm sure he's never not looked back, but in a general consensus, I think he would rather not. But do you feel that's something you would want to do maybe in a year's time? Oh, where are you at right now, specifically when you first came out to where we're at?
um, it'll be
Fight for your
two.
dreams.
It'll be altogether. It'll be 2 years and this July.
Okay. Oh wow, that means
Yeah,
Fight for Your Dreams 5 is coming. Holy
yeah,
sugar. Holy cow.
yep,
But yeah, man, a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. Uh, Mr. Saint,
mm,
again, you're just in a great hands. You're in a fantastic direction. As a fan, I love everything that's going on. We love to boo you. We have this dance that we do as, wrestler, performer, athlete, and fan. And I know I say that weird because it's wrestler, athlete, and performer or whatever, however, and any. But if I just say wrestler, I feel weird. If I say just athlete, I feel weird. If I say performer, I feel weird. So I kind of like to try to fit all three in because, uh, and I could probably say three more different things of what makes up a wrestler, even more, because there's so many things that do make up a wrestler that you can the endless toolbox. It's an
yeah,
endless toolbox
yeah, for
uh,
sure.
to become a wrestler. But not only to become, but to do it right, safely, and continue and get that longevity in a career.
Yeah,
That's always one of the hardest things with the young talent because they want to do everything now.
you don't
You,
have
you
to.
know, Mhm.
You don't have to.
Definitely don't have to. Um, is there anything we haven't spoken about? Because this is our, Mr. Patrick Saint's first interview, and I didn't want to take up too much of your time because I know, our relationship it's kind of rocky at the shows. But this has been actually very enjoyable, to be honest with you. We've had a
I
good
told you,
rapport.
a nice guy.
All right. If you say so. And I believe you. I do believe you again because we've had good rapport. But we don't want to like draw everything out of a fantastic uprising talent right now because you want to save some for later. You know,
Hmm.
maybe we could have a return of Patrick Saint, see what's
Yeah.
going on in his career. Uh, is there still a mission? Is he still in the mission? Because, you know, let's just be honest, Mr. Saint. Anything can happen in wrestling at any given day. We all know that. So
The mission is
let's
for
just
life. The mission is for
let
life. It's all
okay.
about the mission.
Well, so wasn't the NWO when we kind of seen what all happened with that business, and we won't
That's the
talk about that.
NWO. They were all out
Uh,
for themselves.
oh my God, I could never imagine 3, 4 different factions of or variations of the mission. I would absolutely lose my ever loving mind.
Mason Wolfpack? Never.
That would be horrible.
Mason Wolfpack? Never. I wouldn't allow it. It's all
um,
permission.
is there anything we haven't spoken upon that maybe you had already on the table that you were thinking about talking about on this interview? Is there anything that I haven't mentioned that you'd like to speak upon? Because this is your platform, man. This is not mine. This is absolutely Patrick Saint's platform.
You'll be seeing me a lot more often. I'm sure next time you see me, I'll have to tag one half of the TOS Tag Team Championship with my partner Evie De La Rosa. You know, you'll see that. Imagine that. Like I come on with the Versace, I got the watch on, I got the glasses on, and then I got the belt on.
And, and
That's
let's
gonna
be
be
honest,
crazy, right? That's gonna be crazy, right?
I hated all of that visual as you painted it. The
You loved it.
canvas was just, I hated it. Um, I do want to say those titles, the championships, the gold that they have
Beautiful.
at Test of Strength,
Beautiful.
the K1, the tag teams, even the OG heavyweight championship. They have just introduced a new championship. All of that gold that Test of Strength has ever produced has
Mm.
been unique, very unique,
Hmm.
and absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in love with all of them. Right now, what's in my sight is the TOS tab. We'll start. I'm a man of like mini goals, you know,
Okay.
mini goals. So
All right.
mini goals, and major goals.
Well, if you could, real quick,
Hmm.
give us the deets of that show right there one more time. Where yourself and EVD La Rosa, part of the mission, go against the
Dear
champions.
the Miracle
I,
Whip. I'm at Miracle
no,
Generation.
no, we don't speak like that. The now reigning, defending, current tag team champions Dustin Waller, Dustin Flash Waller, and Kylon King, the Miracle Generation, where they and still after this event, give us the date, the time, and the where we go and all of that good stuff.
May 7th,
Mhm.
the Elks Lodge, 17 Spring Street, Northampton, Massachusetts. Dear Norma 2.
Dear Norma too, and that's something that's in the TOS heart right there is the Dear Norma events, and this being the
Yes.
second one, it should be very special.
Hmm.
Sorry you're gonna lose, and
Lose what?
but
Lose what?
nothing. Um, this hour has been absolutely informational, quite different than I expected. I thought you were gonna yell at me a lot, but
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this was very enjoyable, my friend.
I enjoyed it as well, Kincaid.
All right.
Now,
Uh,
let's turn over a new leaf. When you see me at Dear Norma, yay the mission, yay Patrick Saint, yay Evie De La Rosa, yay Dan the Man. The mission.
Let me think on that. Maybe sleep a few nights on that one. We'll see.
I hear you.
We'll see.
And you'll be seeing me other places too.
And that's what we love. We love to see that young talent spreading their wings, man. We got to see that stuff because without doing the drives and such, You don't get introduced to different promotions with a different fan base. That's what we want. We want to see our home base talent spreading their wings to get a bigger spotlight, more eyes on their brand, if you will. Before I do let you go, how do we find the mission? Is there a page collectively? How do we find yourself? Is there a Facebook, a Twitter, or maybe even a Pornhub available where?
What kind of sick shit are you into?
None. Well, you never know. I'm just saying.
No. Nope. What? If you want to find me at Instagram, it's Patrick Saint 2_.
Okay.
If you want to find me on Twitter, it's at Patrick Saint 2_. And if you want to find me on Facebook, it's Patrick Saint. I'm the guy with the Versace on and the glasses. Handsome guy. The handsome guy. You know. No Pornhub, none of that freaky shit.
Woo. But there is no specific mission page anywhere. Is that correct?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
We'll have to talk to one of our underlings and see if we can get something like that started.
Yeah. Do you have any apprentices in the works right now in the mission?
I can't divulge that information.
I try, boys and girls. It is what it is sometimes. Mr. Saint, you have been amazing, and I appreciate your time so much for sharing it with us, the fans, because we don't get to have these conversations at the merch tables, trying to support some of our talent that we buy the merch from and hang out during intermission and whatnot. So I really do truly appreciate the time taking out of your life to talk to us, the fans.
Yes, I appreciate you too, Kincaid. Thank you for having me. Thank you for putting on the first ever Patrick Saint interview. 10 years down the road, this is going to go down in history. We're making history right now. Speaking to
that's what we like to do, getting the first promos, getting the first interviews, capturing their first match. I love that kind of stuff. And I even asked if you had a Pornhub. That was really weird, but that's okay.
Yeah,
But Woo! That's why we like to not write stuff down and have a formula, my man. We just like to have some fun. That's what wrestling is. And what an hour we had with one Patrick, hour 12 minutes with one Patrick Saint.
Oh yeah,
this
like that.
Has been Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid, and my very special guest, 1/4 of the mission, Patrick Saint. Thank you so much.
Thank you.